let's go into the paper. Let's go into the paper for real. So this is Admaths paper 1. Of course, like normal, there is 15 questions in section A. There's 12 questions, and section B, there's 3. You only choose 2. Okay, and the marks are pretty small. Tetapi lihat di sini ya. Okay, there is no set mark for a certain question. Okay, some people think that, oh, okay, 12 soalan dan ada 48, oh no, sorry. 80 minus 16 is 8 minus 2, 6. 64 marks kan. So 64 divided by 12. Tiada juga istilah begitu. Sometimes you have simpler questions which is only 3 marks. Sometimes 4 and sometimes even harder which is 7 marks. But so far as I've seen okay, the maximum mark is 7 marks for the section A question because the section B question is yang berat, yang 8 markah. Okay, so take note of this lah. All right. Formula is always here. This is the standard formula, which is only 24 formulas. Okay, not everything is given, but what is given to you is enough. Most importantly, take note of formula number 1. Okay, it's the most commonly used formula when we are doing Admaths lah. Okay, so number 1, sketch a graph for this from -1 to 4, and then after that state the range of the function. Okay, and I think we did this, something similar to this when we were doing the revision. And I said that what you can do is you can make a table, you can plot it out and take note of the modulus. Modulus means everything is going to be positive. And so this is what you will get lah. Okay, so your answer will probably look like this. Okay, sorry, saya ada schema sudah sedia lah. So I'm just going to show you the schema because it's in my handwriting anyway. So I don't want to waste time writing it out for you. Okay, what I'm looking for is, it is a 2-mark question bahkan. Sorry, 4 marks question. Oh, sorry, 3 marks question. So this is 3 marks. The range is 1 mark. Okay, so 3 marks questions. The shape will be 1 mark. Okay, I need this V shape looking over here. Okay, this V shape looking is 1. Okay, if you plot 3 points correctly, any 3 points, okay, you will get 1 mark. But if you plot all the points correctly, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, you will get 2 marks. Okay, which includes the 0 over here. I need to see it hit the 0 and then bounce back up. Itu saya mesti nampak. Okay, I need to see it hit the 0. I don't need to know what is the value. Saya tidak payah tahu the value. But I need to see that dia menyentuh paksi X and then naik balik in order for you to get these 2 marks. Okay, so some of you I notice bila saya belek-belek kertas bahkan kamu bagi saya graf yang tergantung. Okay, you just give me like that and then after that kau pergi sambung lagi balik di sini. Okay, you give me a half hanging graph yang tidak menyentuh paksi X, so maksimum kamu layak adalah 2/3 markah. Okay. Now the range of this, okay, the range is from 0 to 7 because the smallest number is 0 and the biggest number is 7. Okay, it is this range lah. Quite a lot of you put 1 to 7, okay, which is wrong because a modulus graph always dia akan terpantul balik at the x-axis, so it must touch when y equals to 0. Okay, when fx equals to 0. Always like that. All right, so be very careful with this. All right, next is question number 2. The roots of the equation yada yada, okay, equals to yada yada are real and different. Okay, so when we're talking about real and different roots, okay, we're talking about b squared minus 4ac is more than 0. Find the range of values of p. I think during our discussion also, we also did this. So the first thing we need to do is, we need to make it equals to 0. Okay, if you just use this, the one that they give is not enough. We have to pindahkan, kasih jadi sama dengan kosong, and then we have to identify the A, B, and C. Okay, so from here we know that this is A, this is B, and this whole thing is C. Sebab dia tidak menyentuh paksi X. And then you put it into b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Okay, So correct substitution will give you the second mark. Okay, correct substitution will give you the second mark. And then you pindah. Okay, and then you will get P is less than 2. You don't even need to draw the graph. There is no quadratic equation involved. If you did everything correctly, you will get P is less than 2. Okay, and that's the range for this one. So it is a 3-mark question. 1, 2, 3. Correct substitution is 1 mark. Okay, final answer is the 3rd mark. All right. Question number 3. Okay, question number 3 is 2 different questions. One is 3 marks, one is 4 marks. Let's take a look. So state the coordinates of the minimum point for the quadratic function, yada, 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 yada. Okay, so one of the ways to do this, is to do, completing the square. sorry, I zoned up for a while. Okay, to do completing the square. Okay, so x plus 1, x minus 4, then kita kembangkan. Okay, we kembangkan. We don't substitute the 2 inside, we complete the square of this. Okay, we complete this square. Okay, and remember completing the square is the b over 2 squared bahkan. Okay, whatever is the number b lah. Okay, kita kasih square. Okay, so b is -3. So -3 over 2, the whole thing squared. We plus, and then we minus. Okay, this is the first mark. Okay, first mark is identifying the correct b. Identifying the correct b, yeah. Okay, and then divide by 2, kuasa 2. And then you get the first mark. Okay, then when you simplify everything, you'll get this 2x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 25 over 2. So this is the minimum point. Okay, this is the minimum point, but the question is asking for state the coordinates. Okay, state the coordinates of the minimum point. So you have to find the x coordinate lah, which is here. Okay, is given over here in this one. So when you do completing the square, you are immediately given the information of the x coordinate, okay, -p, and then the minimum point, which is q. Okay, so remember, after completing the square, you get fx equals to a, x tambah p squared plus q. So whatever the q value is, that is the y coordinate, but the x value, okay, kalau sini adalah x minus 3 over 2, okay, the coordinate is, tukar dia punya tanda. Okay, 3 over 2 and -25 over 2. So you give me this equation is 1 mark, and you finally give me the coordinate is another mark. Okay, I noticed that there are also some people that use an alternative method because, okay, and so let's talk about the alternative method now. This one, wonder why my pen is so thin. Kejap. Okay, so this one, okay, x plus 1 and x minus 4 tells you 2 very important things. Okay, it tells you that over here is -1 and over here is 4. Okay, and you can find the symmetry, okay, which is the center over here. So you get -1 plus 4 divided by 2, which is x equals to 3 over 2. And then after that, you substituted the x equals to 3 over 2 into this to find the fx, which you will get this answer. Okay, so either way, you can use both ways actually. Okay, you can use this way if you know if you know what this means. Okay, you know that the minimum point or the maximum point is always in between the 2 roots. Okay, then you can use that method. Kamu boleh guna juga kaedah ini. Okay, and you will get the same answer, which will give you the full 3 marks. Okay, but in my scheme, saya hanya bagi, I only give the completing the square method lah. Okay, because I always want to test people for completing the square. Okay, completing is very important. Okay, all right. Question B. Find the range of values if use b minus 2a can cluster. B minus 2a. Oh no. Hold on. Come back, you. Oh no. Okay, hold on. If you use b minus 2a, hold on, I have to open the this one again. If you use b minus 2a means you're opening up the entire thing, right? Means you get 2, you are using 2x squared minus 6x minus 8 equals to fx, sorry. Is that what you mean, Karima? So b minus 2a, sorry, b over 2a, b minus b over 2a. Minus b over 2a will give you 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2 lah. This is the x value. Then after that, you substitute to find the fx. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. The most important thing for me is to see this lah, the 3 over 2. I want to see that. So how you get the 3 over 2 is, it depends on many methods lah. One is you can use the roots. One is you can use minus b over 2a. Okay, and I can imagine that at this point, some people are asking me, why do we use minus b over 2a? Okay, let's not even go there. Okay, for me, I will focus on completing the square. Because if they don't ask you completing the square in this method, they will definitely ask you completing the square in another question. So better to stick to one method, and you can use the same method for other questions. But yes, I wouldn't mark you wrong for using minus b over 2a. Okay, because ultimately you still get the same answer. Okay, you're just using different method, which is a legitimate method lah. Okay, bukanlah cara kamu haram. Okay, boleh pakai juga. So don't worry about it. Alright, find the range of values. Okay, find the range of values always means usually lah. Okay, usually means yang kamu kena buat ini, yang lorik ini bahkan. Okay, if you remember. Okay, so let's take a look at the question now. But this time you're given two inequalities. This is a very interesting question. And I saw this question, I was like, oh, okay, sama mesti buat ni soalan ni. It's so interesting. Dia suruh kamu find the range of values for both inequalities and then determine whether the both inequalities have the same range of values of x. Which is like, so, okay, fine. So it's the same skill done twice. Okay, if you take a look, sorry. Okay, so this is the first equation. Okay, this is the first equation, 2x squared, blah, blah, blah. Same thing, kasih sebelah itu dengan kosong, simplify, and then you do the range. Okay, negative 3 is less than x is less than 5 over 2. The second equation will give you this. Okay, you will get the same roots, except that one is negative, one is positive. But because they are terbalik, okay, then you will get not the same. Okay, so this is a 4-mark question. I give 1 mark to kalau kamu dapat ini atau ini, either one lah. Okay, either one, if you get it correct, you will get 1 mark. Okay, state both the inequalities correctly. Okay, state both the ranges correctly, you get 1 mark. And then you have to state that it is not the same, because that is the question. The question is state whether the inequalities have the same range, okay, as the values of x. Astaga. Okay. Have the same range as the values of x. You need to determine. So that's why I need to see that word, it is not the same range. Okay, if I see the words not the same, I will give you that final 4th mark. It's amazing how it's amazing how many times I say this, yet people, they will stop here. Always people will stop here. And they're like, oh, okay lah, like that lah. Saya sudah tunjukkan, tapi kau tidak nyatakan. Come on, guys. Okay, answer the question. Okay. So, kalau I tak lukis the graph, okay. For this question, yes, okay. But I always stress that you should draw the graph. Make it a point to draw the graph. Okay, because sometimes, especially in paper 2, the graph matters. Okay, paper 1, saya ikut skema ini, ada benda yang lebih penting yang saya mau nampak lah. So, saya tidak cukup markah untuk bagi untuk graph. Okay, so saya nampak persamaan, I give you the 1 mark. Okay, thank you for the question. Alright, question number 4 is the one that ramai orang bila dia nampak soalan ini kan terus mengeluh. And I noticed that quite a lot of people didn't answer this question simply because they saw the natural log. They saw the natural log and then like, oh, what is this? Macam kita tidak pernah sentuh. Yes, we have people. Okay, I taught you this over the internet last year. Go and watch the old videos of me last year teaching you this natural log. Panjang lagi tu video saya kasih tengok. Okay, this show question is a very standard question. Okay, and it comes out many times in buku latihan, in whatever. Okay, and the step is always simple. We always follow the index law. Okay, so the first thing you do is separate this one and this one into become all this. Okay, and then what happens is the 3 to the power of x, all the 3 to the power of x, okay, we will be able to factorize it out. Okay, so once you factorize it out, the rest of the numbers will fall into place one, definitely, because if they ask you to show something, okay, so show that is blah 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 is divisible by 12 means it definitely can be divided by 12 They won't give you a this one that cannot be shown. Okay, so cruel dia suruh kamu buktikan sesuatu yang tidak boleh dibuktikan. No lah, that's university level maths. Okay, but at maths kalau dia suruh kamu buktikan sesuatu kan means boleh dibukti itu. Just kau mau cari jalan lah. Okay, so this is the idea. I want to see this sentence. Since 36 is divisible by 12. Ini yang saya mau nampak. Okay, so the entire thing is divisible by 12 for all positive integers of x. I need to see the words 36 is divisible by 12. Boleh dibahagi dengan 12. Yalah, memang boleh lah kan. 36 bagi 12 is 3. Okay, so the 3-mark question, one over here, and one over here. The long question. It's only a 2-mark question though, guys. 2 markah saja, tapi ramai orang yang give up. Okay, solve the equation ln, okay, ln x minus 4 cubed equals to 5 using natural logarithms. Okay, give your answer to correct to 4 decimal places. Guys, if this was a log 10 question, some of you probably wouldn't teragak-agak sudah kan. Let's say this is log 10, x minus 4 cubed equals to 5. First thing you do is bring this across. So 3 log 10. Oh no, sorry. You don't even need to do this. You just do x minus 4 cubed equals to 10 to the power of 5. Kan? Kau kasih tukar pergi bentuk index. And then you get the answer. Okay? Same thing lah kalau ln. Okay, you can do this if you want. Oh no, actually you should do this. Sorry, my mistake. You should do this. Okay, so you bring the 3 down. Okay, you bring the 3 down as normal, which is 3 over here. Okay, and you bring the 3 across, you get 5 over 3. And then you shift ln. Okay, shift ln 5 over 3. Let me just double check my calculator. Shift ln, should be shift ln. Yeah, shift ln. Shift ln, okay, 5 over 3. Which is this. This is the shift ln, guys. This is the shift ln. Okay? You know where's the ln? Ln is here. ln. Okay? It's just log, but it is not base 10. It's just a natural base. Okay? So, even if you don't show me this step, saya pun okay tau. Kalau kau dari sini, kau lompat terus pergi sini kan, saya faham itu apa yang kamu buat. Okay? Which is just shift ln, shift 5 over 3. Shift ln 5 over 3. Okay. Then you get 5.2945. Then you just add the 4 and you get 9.2945. And I want to stress that this is a very bikin geram lah, you know. It's very geram. Some of you answered this correctly kan. Tapi kau pergi pandai-pandai tulis sampai 10 tempat perpuluhan. Some of you go and round off Jingwei. Yeah, some of you going to round off 9.29. Okay, so cannot lah. Okay, final answer if it is requested for 4 decimal places. Take note of it lah. Okay, we try to avoid all these little mistakes. Okay, as much as we can. All right. Question number 5. Diagram shows this one. This is linear law. Okay, this is linear law. So the variables yada yada are related by this. This is the original one, bukan mengikut ini. Okay, and so dia suruh kita cari nilai M dan N. Okay, so the two most important things about linear law is always the gradient and the y-intercept. Obviously, the y-intercept is given -5. Gradient kamu boleh kira sendiri. Okay, and so what will we get is, first of all, you need to change this ikut kita punya graph lah. Our graph is y minus 3x over melawan x squared. Kan? Y minus 3x against x squared. So we have to change our y to y minus 3x, okay, by bringing the 3x across. So we're going to get all this. Y minus 3x, this is our y-axis. Our x squared is our x-axis. And so M is our gradient yang kamu boleh kira sendiri. And 5n is our y-intercept, which from the question is -5. Okay, so show me either one of this. Okay, either 5n equals to 5, or M equals to the gradient, and you will get 1 mark lah. Okay, and then 1 mark correct for the value of n, and 1 mark correct for the value of m. Okay, it's a 3-mark question that is from linear law. All right, question B. Diagram shows this one also from linear law, but it is a log question now. Log 10y against log 10x plus 1. Okay, given that AB is 5 units, and the straight line intersects log 10x at coordinate A. Okay, so this is now like a combination of 2 chapters, coordinate geometry and also linear law. Okay, because after that they say express y in terms of x. Express y means y equals to yada 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 yada. We don't care how it is lah. Okay, on the other side. So first thing you do is, if they give you the length, you use the length formula. Okay, the length formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And the only thing you don't have is the y coordinate. Right? Because over here, the x coordinate is 0. Y coordinate saja yang saya tidak tahu. So I can use that to find the y coordinate. Okay, right over here. Okay, so pindah, and there's 2 possible answers. There's 9 and there's 3. Okay, and I want to see you rejecting the 9. Okay, you don't have to give the reason why you reject, but we have to reject the 9 simply because this is 6. So how can this be 9? Tidak boleh kan? They must be less than 6. So that's why we reject the 3. So the coordinate of A will be 0 and 3, which is incidentally the y-intercept. Okay, so let's put it in. Find the gradient, you get gradient equals to 3 over 4, and you put it all into the y equals to mx plus c. M adalah 3/4, c adalah 3 yang kau sudah kira daripada soalan A. Okay, the y-axis is log 10y and the x-axis is log 10x. Then you use the log laws. Okay, hukum-hukum log, kasih gabungkan semua and you will get this final answer. Okay, most times lah, okay, kebanyakan daripada masa, I will encourage students to make sure that you get this one first. Okay, this one, kalau kamu lupa, if you make a mistake on how to use the log laws, I would say don't sweat over it lah. Okay, if you are aiming for an A minus, okay, or an A, then definitely you have to sweat over this lah. But if you're just trying to pass, if you're struggling to pass, or if you just want to get a credit, I would say, you know, you can, as long as you're there, this last mark is just 1 mark only lah. Okay, you can miss it for now. Okay, I'm not saying miss it forever lah. Yes, FR. If I don't say reject, but my final answer is 0, 3, cannot, saya akan tanda salah. Must, because you don't, why 0, 3, why not 0, 9? Okay, so I will definitely not accept the answer. Tapi, kamu menggunakan the same coordinate in this one, okay, no problem lah. Itu tidak masalah. But in my scheme, Okay, saya cakap tulis reject ini must have. Okay, partly because you guys are like to ask all these questions where I balik-balik saya cakap ke ini kau mesti buat, ini kau mesti buat kan, tapi lepas tu kau tidak buat. Dan bila kau tidak buat, dia kau tanya dengan saya, kalau saya tidak buat macam mana? Okay, just like the graph 5b2, this is 5b2 here. This is number 5, right? Yeah, 5b2 is here. The one in blue, Eldon. The one in blue is 5b2.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah. So just like Karima's question just now with the graph, right? Karima always asks me this question. Okay. Is it okay if we don't draw the graph? I think somebody else also in this class also asked me this question. Is it okay if we don't draw the graph? I say, yeah, it's okay, but I'm still going to stress that you should draw the graph. Okay. You just should. Why do you ask me questions like this? Okay. Can I move on, Eldon?
Boleh, sir.
Okay, so question number 6. Okay, vertices of a parallelogram. Okay, so you have this. Find P and Q. Okay, we need to understand the parallelogram. Parallelogram is a square. No, it's a rectangle. Okay, original rectangle, right? Yang kena senyet. So it becomes like this. Okay, so in a parallelogram, the only thing that is the same is the midpoint. Okay, they both have the same midpoint. And that's the only thing that's the same. Okay, the length is different. The length of the diagonals are different, but they will have the same midpoint. Okay, so that's why you see over here, I will write 2 plus 4 over 2 equals to 5 plus P over 2. Because this is A and C lah, obviously. Okay, so A and C will have one midpoint, and then B and D will have another midpoint, and the midpoint is the same. So 2 plus 4 over 2 equals to 5 plus P over 2. Okay, which is what I'm showing over here. Okay, and then likewise, these 2 plus -1 equals to 3 plus Q, which I'm showing over here. Okay, but because this is a 2-mark question, there's no marks for, for any part of this lah, tiada marker. Okay, 1 mark for the value of P and 1 mark for the value of Q. Okay, so P equals to 1, Q equals to -2, and when you get that value, okay, you find the area. So what happens? Okay, what happens if your number 1 answer is wrong, but you use that answer to find the area? Okay, so what happens is you will only get 1 mark for the correct substitution. Okay, but everything else you will get wrong lah. Okay, so bukan salah kamu lah. Kalau katakan kamu dapat P salah, bahkan P dan Q salah, tapi kau gunakan nilai itu di sini, okay, in the area formula, okay, you will get 1 mark if you substitute it correctly. Okay, but you will not get the mark for the final one lah. Okay, which is 11 units squared. Unit squared not so important, 11 yang saya mau tengok. Okay, 11 yang saya mau tengok. I noticed that some people, they stopped here. Dia letak 1, 2, 3, 4 and then they stop. They forgot to go 1 full circle. So I want to remind once again, area formula, you start, the first and the last must be the same coordinate. Okay, the first and the last must be the same coordinate. That one very important. Okay, whether it is 4 sides lah, 6 sides lah, 3 sides lah, okay, the first and the last must be the same coordinate. All right, question B. This is a locus question. I think before we started the exam, I did do a little bit of revision on this. Setengah Eva, saya lupa pula ini kan pasal, kenapa saya rap. Okay, fine. So, we have 2 fixed points. Okay, and then you're given this 2SE equals to SF. Find the equation of the locus S. So same now, we start with this sentence, 2SE equals to SF, and then we use the distance formula. What if my area is correct and your P and Q is wrong? Wow, how did you get your area correct and your P and Q is wrong? I would give you full marks for area, but I will give you 0 marks for P and Q. Because you substituted correctly, I assume you substituted correctly, and by some miracle, you also got the same answer. Yeah, it's possible, it's possible. You may have gotten the P and Q wrong. Yeah. Possible. Okay, so I won't give you marks for number 1, but you will definitely get full marks for number 2. You'll get 2 marks. I would say, I would go that far. Okay, coming back to the locus. So when you're done with this, when you do this, a common mistake substitution. Correct substitution is 1 mark. Okay, tinggal kau kasih masuk saja dalam formula. Okay, you get 1 mark. Okay, then the expansion and everything kan memang tiada markah. Tapi, okay, these are the 2 things that I noticed that some of you who answered this question, you did lah. Number 1, you forgot to square the 2. Okay, that is the number 1 mistake. You forgot to square the 2. Kau kasih hilang saja itu punca kuasa 2, tapi kamu lupa untuk menguasakan itu 2. So itu tiada punca kuasa. Okay. Secondly, all equations of locus must be in the simplest form. Quite a few of you, okay, that answered, you stopped here. Okay, which is why I can only give you 2 out of 3 marks. Because you see, 3, 12, 36 definitely can bundarkan. Masih lagi boleh dipermudahkan. Okay, so if you give me this final answer, I will give you this final mark. Okay, those of you that answer this question, masa saya balik-balik saya tengok, quite a lot of you did one or both of these mistakes. Okay, especially this one yang kedua ni yang sangat sedih saya rasakan. Kau sudah dapat jawapan sebenarnya dan semua sudah betul, tapi kau lupa permudahkan. Okay, so final answer should always be simplified. Okay, as much as possible. All right, what question is this? 6. Are we halfway? Are we halfway? What? How many questions were there? 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, we can do until question 8 is good enough. Okay, question 7. Determine the unit vector for 2 and 6. Okay, and then the vectors are non-zero and non-parallel. Okay, these are like really bonus questions lah. Okay, question 7. Unit vector is always find the magnitude, divide with the magnitude. Okay, so the magnitude is 2 square root of 10, and this is probably where I need to mention lah. Kita tidak boleh tinggalkan jawapan sebagai punca kuasa 2 40. It is not the simplified version, because 40 is 4 times 10, dan 4 ini boleh dikasih punca bahkan, so you get 2, and then so this is what I want. Okay, yeah, so the law of surd is very important over here, and you really need to remember that if your answer is in punca kuasa 40, we will want to see the simplified version, okay, which is 2 and then square root of 10. Itu kita mesti mau. Okay, there are some people dia tulis square root of 40 is 6.324, right? So the magnitude is, some people, ada orang ini tulis dia begini 6.324. So the unit vector, okay, is how do I get this? Okay, so this is 2 square root 10 kan? Okay, so this is 2i plus 6j. Okay, so the unit vector is 2 over 2 square root 10i plus 6 over 2 square root 10j. Okay, we divide with the magnitude. And then ini boleh potong, and then ini boleh jadi 3 lah. Okay, so which is why we get this answer. Ini salah sudah ini. Sorry. This is wrong. Okay, this should be 1 over square root 10. okay, and 3 over square root 10. This is the answer. Okay, 1 over square root 10, 3 over square root 10. But how we get this is we divide by this. So there are some people, and I can't really remember whether it's this class or another class, dia tulis 2, dia tuliskan 2 per 6.325 I plus 6 over 6.325 J. Okay, saya tidak boleh terima, I cannot accept this lah. Because you have learned the law of surds. Okay, kamu sudah belajar hukum surd. And you know that you need to simplify a square root into, you know, a surd form lah. So definitely this one saya tidak akan terima. Okay, this one I will definitely not do. You will get the marks for the magnitude, but so magnitude kalau kau dapat 6.324, okay, saya terima lah, saya akan bagi kamu 1 markah. But if your unit vector you give me in this form, okay, yang ini, okay, saya tidak terima. Okay. In the past saya terima, dulu saya terima sebab budak-budak zaman dulu kan, wow, zaman dulu, they didn't learn law of surds. But you have learned the law of surds, which is of course an advantage to you lah. Okay, but you need to know how to use the law of surds. All right, vectors, yada yada, non-zero, non-parallel. When you see non-zero, non-parallel, okay, it just means that both are equal to 0. H plus 2 equals to 0, K plus 1 equals to 0. Because A and B, guys, A and B are non-zero and non-parallel. Okay, and these are the conditions for H plus 2 is 0, K plus 1 is 0. Okay, and that's why we get H equals to 2 and K equals to negative 1. Okay, ini macam menggunakan fakta and just pakai sajalah. That's why this is really considered a simple question lah. Okay, memang soalan yang agak simple. Tapi kau kena tahu lah, it's either you know or you don't know. Okay, or you don't remember lah. Bukan kau tidak tahu tapi kau tidak ingat. Alright, last question Circle. Okay, sector LOM berpusat O. The length of arc LM, okay, is 14.25, and the perimeter of sector LOM is 34.25. Okay, calculate the value of theta in degrees. Okay, so we have theta in degrees, and you're given all this information. This will be the working lah. Okay, first of all, you use the S. Okay, and you write it as r theta if you want. Okay, but you can find the value of r from here. Okay, if you're given 14.25, the whole perimeter is 34.25, and you know that the lengkong, you know that the lengkong, this is 14.25. So this is r plus r, the same radius lah. So you can find the value of r. Once you find the value of r, you substitute it in here, and you get the value of the angle in radian. Okay, question asks in degree. Okay, I can hear some of you face palming yourself when you realize that you could have gotten 5 marks, but unfortunately you stopped at 4. So sedih kan? Yeah, this is so sad. Okay, so the 5th mark is changing the 1.425 radians to degrees. Okay, which is 81.636 degrees. Welcome to the second part of our discussion for the paper 2. For the paper 2 paper today. Okay, we'll be continuing off where we left off yesterday. Okay, and so let's take a look at this question now. Okay, question 9 lah. So diagram 4 shows a part of the curve of y equals to x squared plus 2. So this is the curve. And the straight line y equals to negative 3x plus 6. Okay, which intersects at this point 1 and 3. So I'm going to mark here 1 and I'm going to mark here 3. Okay, find the volume generated when the shaded region is rotated 360 degrees about the y-axis. Okay, now when we have volume of y-axis, so we know that volume pi, and then this is dy. And since this is dy, it will have to be x squared. Okay, and so if you look at this, it is actually divided, the shaded part is divided into two separate parts lah. Okay, usually like when I taught you, I teach you to separate it out, and then one is integration and one is usually volume of something. Okay, so if we see this triangle here, a triangle that is revolved 360 will turn into a cone. Okay, so we're looking for volume of cone, okay, plus, then the blue color is this, okay, so the volume of graph. Okay, this one is integration. Nah, ini yang melibatkan integration. Okay, so we need to have this strategy in mind when we answer this question. And so the answer will be, okay, first of all, you find the volume of cone. The volume of cone will be 1/3 pi r squared d lah, h lah. Okay, and so the radius is 1. Okay, because the x-axis, this is the radius, okay, and this is the height. Okay, this is the r, this is the height, because you are rotating this way. Okay, so this is the height. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So how do I know, how do I know that the height, okay, how do I know that the height is 3? Okay, how do I know that the height is 3? Because of this formula. Y equals to minus 3x plus 6 means atas sini dia adalah 6. So 3 to 6 is 3. Okay, that's how I know that the height is 6. Okay, and so what I will get is, I will get the volume of the cone equals to pi. And then volume of the curve, would be, oh no, sorry, hold on. Okay, the volume of the curve will be the integration of 2 to 3, from 2 to 3, yeah? Okay, which is here. Okay, so how do I know that this is 2? Okay, how do I know that this is 2? Because of this intersect over here. Okay, when x equals to 0, y equals to 2. So all these small things that you need to figure out, okay, by using the equations given. Okay, all the y-intercepts are when x equals to 0. You substitute x equals to 0 into here, you get y equals to 2, which is this. You substitute x equals to 0 in here, you get y equals to 6, which is this. All right, so the integration is from 2 to 3, okay, of x squared towards dy. And x squared is actually y minus 2, because the original, this one is y equals to x squared plus 2. Bahkan. So you just pindah across lah. Okay, then you integrate correctly, you get 1 mark. Okay, then you substitute correctly and you get the total isi padu volume is 1/2. So you add together, the total volume is the volume of the cone, which is pi, plus the volume of the integrated part, okay, which is half pi. So pi plus half pi is 3/2 pi. Okay, always remember that when you're answering volume questions that involve integration, just leave your answer in terms of pi. Okay, no need to substitute 22/7 dan tak payahlah menyusahkan diri sampai begitulah. Okay, so this is the first part. Okay, volume of cone. This is the second part, the volume of the curve, and then you add it both together. Okay, find the number of ways from the word pantol, okay, if the word pantol can be arranged if there is no restriction. Okay, now the key word over here is the word arrange. Arrange means that the arrangement is important. You're not choosing. That means we're talking about permutation. Permutation means kita melibatkan NPR. Okay, not NCR. So if there's no restriction, means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer will be 6 factorial. Okay, since you're arranging on either 6 factorial or, okay, 6p6. Either way, also you will get the same answer, which is 720, no? 6p6. Yeah, 720. Okay, so there'll be 720 ways if there is no restriction. Now, first and last letters must be vowels. Okay, let me put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if the first and the last letters must be vowels, okay, these 4, the rest of the 4 memang bukan vowel lah. So ada 2 vowel saja kan, A dan U. Okay, so this one will be 4 factorial. Okay, this one will be 2p1 and then 1p1. And then you multiply all three lah. So 2p1 for the first vowel, okay, times 4 factorial times 1p1. Okay, which will give you 2p1 times 4 factorial, where's the factorial sign? Oh, there, times 1p1. Okay, which will give you about 48. Hold on, huh? Yeah, okay, it will give you about 48 ways to arrange if the first and the last must be apa itu? Must be vowels. Okay, now the letters are arranged in 2 rows. Okay, 3 letters per row, and all the vowels must be in the first row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First of all, we know that there are only 2 vowels. First of all, there is 2 vowels, and the 2 vowels must be on the first row. Okay, so it's here lah. Let's say it's here. 2 vowels on the first row. Okay, and so the rest all is 4 factorial, which is here. Ini semua adalah 4 factorial. Okay, because we don't care about the rest. But having said that, the 2 vowels that are on the first row, dia ada apa kemungkinan untuk it doesn't have to be together, right? Yeah, it doesn't have to be together. They just say all the vowels must be on the first row. That means it can actually take 3p2. Okay, because there are 3 places and you have to permutate, you have to choose and susun dua di sana. So I would think that the answer would be 3p2 times 2 factorial times another 4 factorial. Yeah, I think that will be my answer. 3p2 times 4 factorial times 2 factorial will be 288. 288 ways altogether. Okay, solve the following. NC1, n plus 1 Cn, okay, equals to 8. Okay, so this one will require you to know the formula for n, which I don't think is given in the formula list. Or maybe it's given. Oh, it is given. Okay, it's given over here. So all we have to do is just follow the formula. Okay, and once you follow the formula, this is what we will get lah. Okay, we get n plus 1. Okay, n plus 1. Let me make this bigger. Okay, n plus 1 over n plus 1 minus n factorial times n factorial, because the formula, okay, is NCR equals to n factorial over n minus r factorial n factorial r factorial. Okay, so we get this. And a very common thing that we see over here is so n plus 1, sorry, okay, n plus 1 is equals to n plus 1 factorial lah. Okay, is equals to n plus 1 times n factorial. Okay, over n factorial. Now this one, n plus 1 minus n, will be just 1 lah. 1 factorial is 1. That's why kita tidak nampak sudah di sini. Okay, but this is something that we need to, that I would actually recommend that you try to understand this. We need to know that n factorial is actually equals to n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 all the way until 1. Okay, dia akan menurun sampai dia jadi 1. Sebagai contoh, 10 factorial is actually 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 all the way until times 1. Okay, so in that respect, if this is n plus 1, the next number yang akan didarab adalah n plus 1 minus 1, which is n. That's why we get this. And sebaliknya, di belakang semua n itu adalah n factorial lah, n minus 1, n minus 2, semua itu. And the reason why we do that is so that we can potong ini dua. Okay, we can cut the n plus 1. Sorry, we can cut the n factorial. And we are left with n plus 1 equals to 8. Okay, sorry, 7, 7, 7. Yeah, the answer will be 7. Sorry. All right. Next question. 4 boys and 2 girls are to be selected from a group of 6 boys and 5 girls to form a table tennis team. Okay, in how many ways can the team be formed? So we need to talk about the boys. The boys will be 6 choose 4, and then the girls will be 5 choose 2. Okay, and so what we will get will be 6 choose 4, and then we multiply by 5 choose 2, because this has to happen simultaneously, and so you will get 150 ways. Okay, this is pretty simple. So 1 mark for 6 choose 4, okay, 1 mark for 5 choose 2, and then the final mark is for the 150. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Wow, suddenly everybody say that they can't come today because of the second dose. Ooh, interesting. Okay, sorry. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, question 12. In a chemistry test, 35% of students fail to achieve 50 marks. Okay, if 10 students are selected, calculate the probability that at least 8 students achieve 50 marks and above. Okay, so this is the case where the question becomes like a putar balik lah. Okay, the probability given is the one that they fail, but the probability they ask you to find is the one that they passed. Okay, so you need to set your P and Q very, very correctly now. Okay, but we know that we want at least 8. Okay, at least 8 means if there are 10 altogether, we want to find the probability of 8 plus the probability of 9 plus the probability of 10. Okay, that's what we want to find now. And so for this scheme, for at least for this question, I am setting the probability of success as 0.65. Okay, sebab 0.35 yang gagal ujian chemistry. The 35%, right, is the one that gagal. And because the question I want to find is, the question say yang saya mau cari adalah achieve 50 marks and above, means diorang lulus. Okay, so yeah, so this is kind of the common thing we see in admits papers these days. Dia bagi the probability, tetapi yang dia minta adalah benda yang berlainan. So you have to be very clear. What is your success criteria? If your success criteria is pass the chemistry test, then you have to change the 35% to fail, which is the Q. Okay, jadi Q is 0.35, P is 0.65, and our N is 10. And so x is more than 8 will be P8, 9, and 10. If I see this, I will give you the first part. Okay, all I just need to see is that you are doing 8, 9, and 10, and you're adding it all up lah. Okay, whether you do it separately or whether you tulis satu ayat macam ni kan, asal saya nampak that you counted 3 probabilities and you add them all together, whether the probability is correct or not, I will still give you that 1 mark. The second mark comes from the correct substitution. Okay, you substitute correctly, either one lah, you substitute the 8 correctly, or you substitute the 9 correctly, or you substitute the 10 correctly, you will get the second mark. Okay, and then the final mark is the answer. Okay, the final mark is the answer. So notice that I am giving you marks for working. Okay, bukan untuk mendapat setiap satu jawapan ini betul. Itu it doesn't contribute any marks lah. For this question I'm going more for the skill. Let me go to the next one. So diagram 5 shows this one. Now, when you are given a binomial distribution graph, okay, the most important thing is all the total must be equals to 1. Okay, so you know that 0.1756 plus m plus 0.324 plus another m is equals to 1. Okay, so since this is equals to 1, then you calculate, I see this whole thing is equals to 1 mark, you get m equals to 0.2505 is the next mark. Okay, then the second question is x is more than 1, more or equal to 1. That means I want this probability plus this probability plus this probability. Okay, or 1 minus this probability. Okay, either way as you can, I'm choosing the 1 minus method, I'll get 0.8244. Okay, and as I mentioned before, the single greatest thing that we need to understand about this particular question is that the total probability is equals to 1. No matter how many kayu there is, no matter how many graphs there is, the total probability is always equal to 1. Okay, so this will be the answer, 0.8244. All right, let's continue to question number 13 now. Find the minimum number of terms required for the sum of the arithmetic progression 147 to be more than 150. Okay, first of all, it's an arithmetic progression. So the sum is Sn equals to n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, we want to find the range of values of n. Okay, so this will be how we will start it off lah. Okay, we will start off with the line Sn is more than 150. Why is it so blur? Sorry. Okay, Sn is more than 150. Okay, then you substitute. You will find that the A is 1. Okay, A is 1. And the D is 3 because it's plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Okay, so when you put it in here, you get this. And all you have to do is our good friend, the graph and yada, yada, yada. You get two different values lah. Either n is more than 7.2 or n is less than negative 6.9. And again, I want to stress that I need to see this word, the fact that you're rejecting the idea that n is less than negative 6.9. Okay, although it is logical, you still need to state it. Okay, so the minimum number, if n is more than 7.2, the next nearest number must be 8. Okay, dalam bab ini, in progressions, this is one of those chapters where your final answer for n must be a round number. Okay, tiadalah sebutan ke 7.2 bahkan. Tempat ke 7.2 tiada. Okay, no such thing. Okay, so and also another danger that I always see is selalu orang dia pergi bundarkan tapi dia tidak memahami maksud ini. When there is a more than 7.2, you cannot round off, Okay, you just bring it to the next nearest number that is still bigger than 7.2. Because if you round off, kalau kita ikut peraturan round off bahkan, sepatutnya n equals to 7 kan, sebab dia 0.2 is less than 0.5. Oh no, am I having a block nose? Okay, so we will have to write n equals to 8 for that. Okay, sum to infinity of a geometric progression is 125 and the sum of the first two terms is 12. Okay, find the common ratio. So this one we will have to form two equations. Sum to infinity is 125, so you use the equation over there, and then the sum of the first two terms is 12. Okay, so you form the two equations, you get both marks. Okay, and then after that, you will notice that actually this and this, you can replace it in. That's why we get the 125 over there. Okay, so 12 over 125 equals to 1 minus r squared. Okay, and then you pindah. The r can be actually positive and negative lah. Tapi if you just give me the positive value, I will accept it as it is lah. Okay, r equals to 0.95. I'm fine with it. Okay, totally as it is. Not a problem at all. Okay. Although by right it's supposed to be plus minus lah. Okay, sebab dia squared bahkan. So when you square root, it's supposed to be plus minus. But if you just give me the positive value, I will accept the answer as it is. 150 minus 300. Isn't the negative 150 minus 300? Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this should be 300. So this is 300. One name is gonna kill me. So this will be 3 minus 1 minus 300. So it'll be 10.1 and 9.8. Okay, 10.1, 9.8. So the answer will be 10.1. The answer will be 11. Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing this out to me. Okay, One name is going to kill me. Malcolm, why you never do the correctly one? Okay, so anyway. Thank you. Next question. P is this one. So this is differentiation. Okay, P equals to 2x minus 3. And this one is over here. Interesting that they give you this one. And then after that, they ask you to find the rate of change of x given P is the change with the rate of 3 units per second. Okay, so this is actually dp dt, okay, equals to 3. And so we find that by writing that, we can find the rate of change of x, okay, which is dx dp times dp dt. Okay, from this one, p equals to 2x minus 3, we get dp dx equals to 2 instantaneously. And so because of dp dx equals to 2, dx dp, okay, equals to 1 over 2. And that's why you get 1 over 2 times 3. Because the 3 is given, dp dt is already given as 3. dx dp yang kita differentiate untuk mencari the value of dx dt. Okay, so this is an application of the use of chain rule. Okay, so the chain rule, oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the chain rule. Okay, they ask you to find dx dt. We have to understand the question. But since they give you p and x and t, you need to form the chain rule first. Dan gantikan yang betul di dalam. Okay, second question. Find dy dx in terms of x only. We need to make the p disappear. Okay, so that's why this p, you will find that saya ganti dengan 2x minus 3. Okay, so the original one is y equals to negative 3 over p squared makan. Okay, so it'll be negative 3 over 2x minus 3 the whole thing squared. Okay, then saya bawa pergi atas and I use the inside-outside or the chain rule punya differentiation. Okay, which we spent so long doing when we were studying this. Okay, I hope you remember lah. Okay, and so you will get this final answer, 12 over 2x minus 3 to the power of 3. One word of caution, if you give your final answer like this, 2x minus 3 to the power of negative 3, it is considered incomplete. Okay, belum lagi lengkap jawapan kamu. We need to bring the power of negative 3 back downwards. Okay, all right, question C, approximate value. Approximate value question is del y equals to dy dx times del x. Okay, and we find that the x decreases from 2 to 1.98. So that means our del x is negative 0.02 because they decrease. Okay, so it will be a negative number. Now we need to find the value of dy dx. Okay, dy dx when x equals to 2, the original value. Okay, and so since you have found dy dx in question B, okay, I will just substitute the the value of x equals to 2, okay, inside here. Okay, and it will give me the value of, it will give me the value of 12. Okay, so the del y will be 12 times negative 0.02, which will be negative 0.24. So the approximate value of y, this one is the small change in y. The approximate value of y will be y plus del y. Okay, when x equals to 2, we find that y equals to negative 3 because from the formula, y equals to this one. Okay, kita gantikan x sama dengan 2 di dalam and you get y equals to negative 3. Then negative 3 you minus with the 0.24. Sorry, the negative 3 you plus with the negative 0.24. Okay, and you will get the approximate value negative 3.24. Most of the time when we do soalan latihan bahkan, we always stop here. Kita cari dy bahkan and then we are done. Okay, we always stop here. But this question is asking for the approximate value of y. Okay, perubahan hampir pada y. It's not asking the small change in y. Okay, so we need to know the difference approximate value is the new y. Okay, this one is called the small change. Okay, perubahan kecil dalam y. Ini adalah perubahan hampir. Okay, approximate value. This is two totally different things that we need to take note of. Okay, all right, last question. Given cos 15 equals to P and sin 35 equals to Q, expressed in terms of P and Q, cos 70, 7.5, and sin 50. Okay, so in this scheme, what I did first, obviously, is always to do the triangle. If cos 15 equals to P, okay, then I know that my first triangle will be 15 over here. This is 75, P1, and then this will be 1 minus P squared. Okay, this is Pythagoras theorem. Second one is sin 35 equals to Q. Okay, so I put Q over here and 1 also normal. Okay, sin 35 equals to Q over 1 lah. Okay, that's normal. Okay, then I find the complementary angle and so on and so forth. Okay, now cos 70, okay, is actually cos 2 times 35. Okay, and this one we get from the formula cos 2a. Okay, cos 2a is 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Okay, 2 sine squared a, and the reason why I'm using 35 is because I have 35 over here. I don't have 70. Okay, I don't have 70. So I will get 1 minus 2q squared because sine 35 is q. So sine squared 35 is q squared. Okay, 1 minus 2q squared. Cos 7.5. Okay, this one is a little bit tough. This is cos 15 plus 1 over 2. This is cos 2a. Oh, okay. I know. So cos 2a equals to 2 cos squared a minus 1. Cos 2a plus 1 over 2. Sorry, there should be a square root over here. Equals to cos squared a. So cos a equals to cos 2a plus 1 over 2, the whole thing, square root. Okay. Now, assuming that 2a is 15, so a must be 7.5. We are using the half angle, but kita macam kasih terbalik lah. Okay, so actually this should be P plus 1, because cos 15 is P. Okay, then you plus 1 over 2, the whole thing will be square root. Last one, sin 50. Okay, dia ada 50 di sini bahkan. Okay, there's 75, 55, 50, and 35, but 50 we can actually split it into sin 35 plus 15. Okay, so sin 50 equals to sin 35 plus 15. Then you put sin 35, cos 15, cos 35, sin 15, and you should be able to get the answer lah. Okay, sin 35 is Q. Okay, so this is Q. Cos 15, okay, is P. All right, so this is P. Now, cos 35 is where it gets complicated lah. Cos 35 is 1 minus Q squared. Okay, so it will be 1 minus Q squared. Okay, sin 15 will be 1 minus P squared. So you square root of 1 minus P squared. Okay, QP minus, sorry, plus or minus? Plus. Okay, plus square root of 1 minus Q squared, okay, times square root of 1 minus P squared. And then all we do is after that kita kasih permudahkan lah. Okay, we simplify this. So QP plus, since everything is square rooted, okay, we can bring it all in lah. This will be 1 minus Q squared, okay, times 1 minus P squared. The whole thing is under 1 square root. Okay, kita kasih darab semua. And so we will get QP plus square root of 1 minus P squared minus Q squared plus P squared Q squared lah. Okay, something like this. And you can actually leave the answer alone as this, I think. All right, I think that's it for today. We have done all the 15 questions. So next week we will continue with the paper 2 questions. Okay, so yeah lah, I think we can call it a day for today.